We're live from Chevy Chase.
Welcome back. It's now time for our couch convo, and today we're making you aware of some scams to watch out for. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and today, friend of the show, Alex Risen, he's kind of like a cybersecurity bouncer, or security guard. He's here to give us what we need to know for this month.
We don't like scaring you, but it is October. Halloween, right? We've got the pumpkin carving thing. I'm not a dud. I'm going to carve it.
Thank you, Alex.
But we do need to be aware of some of the stuff that's out there, and that is the biggest thing, right? Cybersecurity Awareness Month is not October. Kind of makes sense, right? Again, like there's some scary stuff out there. So just be aware of some of the new cyber threats that are going to be coming out.
Okay, well, speaking of which, talk about some of them.
Well, the name of the company, PhishingBox. So phishing is still one of the biggest ones, and it's been on the rise. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's an unfortunate reality.
Right.
It's not the Nigerian prince scheme like we talked about the last time I was here. You're seeing some really sophisticated stuff. And especially like right now, when you're talking about Kentucky, sports betting was just legalized.
Yes.
So watch out in your inboxes for anything that's impersonating DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM, any of those.
Fantasy football.
Fantasy football, right? Same thing. We have some fantasy football stuff in our templates so that we can train you on those, right? Because these things are sophisticated. They look just like the real thing. And they are also looking at your social media accounts, right? They're going to be looking at different things where they kind of know a little bit about you. And so you also have to be aware if you have your phone number out there or your personal email address on any of your social media sites. That's the biggest thing that, you know, cyber criminals can also get that information. And then they can do what's called pre-texting. So you get that text message and you're like, I don't know that number.
I've gotten a few.
Maybe even sometimes it can come from an iCloud account if you have an iPhone. And so it looks like a text message. It's not a text message. It's actually coming from an email account. And it can even be called something like Dad, Mom, right? And so if you're not paying attention, then you can get caught off guard. So it's just something to be aware of.
Yeah. So I think the first thing we need to do is slow down.
That would be a great thing, which is hard. Because
it's very hard.
Get in that rush, right? Day to day, and you want to do something fast. Even something like the QR codes in a parking lot, or you know, if you're at a parking meter. If you scan that QR code and you're not familiar with what that system should look like, bad guys unfortunately have gone around. And they've been putting QR code stickers over parking meters and things.
Alex!
I hadn't even heard of this.
I'm not trying.
I hadn't even heard of this.
This is so depressing.
And so if you're not familiar with what that system's supposed to look like, you scan it and it says, put in your license plate number, right? Okay, great.
Gosh.
Hey, put in your credit card information just in case you run over your complimentary time. And you don't think anything of it. Well, yeah, that's totally legitimate. I'll put in my information. Now they have your credit card information. They have your, the actual number itself. They have the security code, and they have the expiration date.
Well, here's the latest thing I'm seeing. In my inbox, I can't tell you how much I've won over the course of the last 2 months. I'm a winner at everything. I do not click on anything. So I think kind of the rule of thumb is, if you're going to win something, how are people going to contact you?
It's really difficult to know. Make sure that when you do enter a legitimate, you know, in any contest, contest you guys might have, right? There's a legitimate way that you all do that, and you tell them this is how we're going to contact you. Right. If you're going to say, hey, you have to put in your phone number because we're going to call you, then that's the way that you have to be contacted, right? Don't just think.
Know the rules.
Because people are also kind of skimming the internet and they're seeing that you all might be running a contest, and then they try to hit, you know, anybody in the Lexington area with any email addresses they might have, and so it's like, oh, I did put in for that, you know, television station contest. Yeah, I will, you know, click on this and go through it. Well, always go direct to, you can call the station, right? If you have any questions, just call in. Make sure that you're having that conversation so that you know what you're doing first.
So what, I know I am guilty of this too, but you get an email that says, your account, you need to settle up something in your account, or you need to verify the link here. What do we need to be cautious of there?
Verification, again, always go direct, right? We see that all the time, even with something that's called email non-delivery now. So it's something that can look just like Microsoft or Gmail. It'll look very legitimate. Again, they've copied the exact logos. It's 2023, very good systems, right? The stuff is crystal clear and stuff too. It's no longer just fuzzy and that kind of stuff. And so it says, hey, you need to verify your email address, and it can come from even a doppelganger domain that would be like the place you work. And so you think it's legitimate. It can even say that it's from your IT person, right? And so you click on that. Don't do that. contact your IT person first if it's in the work situation. If it's on the personal side, then don't do it. You can always go direct. Go to the Microsoft website, go to Google's website, and then go through their customer support legitimately so that you can say, hey, I got this. Is this legitimate?
Right.
And they can verify whether or not it's actually something that you need to do.
So there's a new term I've been hearing called callback. What is this all about?
Callback phishing, another really sophisticated scam, right? So instead of just trying to phish you with a link or, hey, you've won something, right, Lee? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to say, hey, you've won something, but you need to call back. Well, okay, I'm not clicking a link, so I call in, and it's a 1-888 number or 1-800 number. And so you think that's fairly legitimate. I mean, that's typically what those things are, right?
Yeah.
Well, now it can even put you into an automated system, right? And so you're going to go through what's more realistic than an automated, please press 1 for this department or 2 for this department, and then actually being put on hold.
Yeah,
Man,
it's very realistic.
Yeah, the cyber criminals are letting you sit on hold. I mean, there's no way you could think of anything
these guys are relentless.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to PhishingBox, you will help. If you have a business, you go in and train employees on how to not fall victim to these scams. So just be more aware today and every day, especially during the month of August.
Yeah. And the free blog, so all the consumers can go check out the latest cyber threats online too.
Great. All the information is up on the screen.